powerful way in which your podcast will bring in revenue is dark social. And what dark social means is people who you know nothing about are seeing your podcast via other folks. People are taking screenshots of things that you've said or something from your podcast and passing it around to make a point. People are referencing things from your podcast in meetings and communities. So that's the idea of dark social. And let me tell you a story, two actually, and I'll split it up a little bit. I've always been better at showing up online, whether it's, through things like pieces of writing or podcasts or videos, than I am kind of showing up in person. And so in the early days, because I was an introvert, I would do a lot of writing and then I would comment on people's comments and then I'd be really active in groups and things. And so people sometimes, when I actually walked into a room after having chatted with them online for a really long time, would greet me and say, "Oh, you're Susan Diaz." And that would always make me feel super special. Like, a few people around when this kind of thing was said to me would turn around and look at me like I was some kind of D-list celebrity. And then that idea continued after our podcast, which we started in 2019. And we would, because our podcast is called the 4 a.m. Report on what keeps you content marketers and founder-led brands up at night, we would do photo shoots in which we would be in pajamas, or we'd be up drinking or working in the middle of the night or whatever it is. And so those photos, obviously there's lots of people who would see those photos that we wouldn't know. And going into an event and having people come up to us and say, "Hey, you're Susan Diaz from that podcast about when you can't sleep, the sleeplessness thing." And that, I think, is a powerful brand when you're able to get to that point. So dark social, folks, a very, very strong way in which your podcast will bring in revenue. It's hard to say in what time frame, but it definitely works.